harvest dance was the most anticipated event in Ravenshade, held every year to celebrate the fruits of the season. The village square would be decorated with colorful banners and garlands of flowers, and the sound of music filled the air as everyone gathered to dance, eat, and celebrate. The sisters were excited for the event, especially because it was the perfect opportunity to spend time with Henry and William. On the night of the dance, the village square looked magical. The golden glow of the lanterns cast soft light over the faces of the villagers, and the music echoed through the air. Elena and Rose stood at the edge of the crowd, both feeling a mix of excitement and nervousness. They had both been waiting for this night, hoping it would be the moment they had longed for. Elena had chosen a deep red dress for the evening. It hugged her figure in all the right places, and the color brought out the warmth in her skin. Her golden hair was styled in soft waves, and her blue eyes sparkled as she looked around. She felt a flutter of anticipation in her chest, knowing that tonight might be the night Henry would finally ask her to dance. As if on cue, Henry appeared. His strong frame was a familiar sight in the crowd, and he smiled when he saw Elena standing there, looking radiant as always. His heart raced as he walked toward her, feeling nervous, but excited at the same time. "Good evening, Elena," Henry said, his voice filled with warmth. "May I have this dance?" Elena smiled, her heart skipping a beat. "Of course," she replied, placing her hand in his. They danced together, moving in perfect harmony with the music. Elena was amazed at how easily they moved together, as if they had always danced this way. Henry's gentle nature and strong hands made her feel safe and cared for. She couldn't help but smile as they twirled around the floor, surrounded by the joy and laughter of the villagers. Meanwhile, Rose stood waiting for William, her heart beating faster with each passing second. She wore a soft green gown that complemented her sparkling eyes. The dress shimmered under the lantern light, making her look even more beautiful. When she spotted William walking toward her, her heart fluttered with excitement. William took her hand gently and smiled. "Shall we dance, Rose?" Rose nodded, her cheeks flushed with happiness. "I'd love to." As they danced, Rose felt like the world around them had disappeared. It was just the two of them, moving together to the rhythm of the music. William's soft smile and kind eyes made her feel cherished, and for the first time, Rose realized that she was falling for him. Later that evening, after the dance had ended, the village began to quiet down. The air was cool and crisp, and the soft sounds of the river flowing nearby added to the peaceful atmosphere. Elena and Henry found themselves alone by the river, the gentle glow of the lanterns reflecting off the water. Henry turned to Elena, his heart filled with the words he had been waiting to say. "Elena," he began, his voice serious but filled with emotion. "I've been thinking about this for a while, and I can't keep it to myself any longer. I admire you so much, not just because you're beautiful, but because of the kindness and strength you show every day. I've fallen in love with you." Elena's heart soared at his words. She had been waiting for this moment, and hearing Henry's confession made her feel a deep sense of happiness and relief. She smiled softly, her blue eyes filled with love. "I've fallen in love with you too, Henry. You are kind, strong, and caring. I've been waiting for someone who could love me for who I am, and you are that person." In the same moment, Rose and William sat together under a large oak tree, their hands intertwined. The stars above twinkled softly, and a gentle breeze rustled the leaves around them. William looked at Rose, his heart full of emotion. "Rose," he said quietly, "I need to tell you something. I've fallen for you. You are everything I've been looking for. You're kind, beautiful, and you have a heart that shines." Rose's cheeks turned pink, and her heart swelled with joy. "I feel the same way, William," she whispered. "I never thought I would find someone who loved me for who I really am, but you do, and I love you too." The next few weeks were filled with the kind of joy that only comes with the beginning of something new and wonderful. Elena and Henry's relationship blossomed, as did Rose and William's. The four of them spent more and more time together, walking through the village, visiting each other's homes, and sharing quiet moments where they could talk and laugh. One afternoon, as the sun was setting and the sky turned shades of pink and orange, Henry invited Elena to walk with him to the top of a hill that overlooked Ravenshade. From there, they could see the whole village spread out below them, with the soft glow of the streetlights twinkling in the distance. As they stood together, looking at the village they both loved so much, Henry turned to Elena with a look of determination in his eyes. "Elena," he said softly, "I can't imagine my life without you. I want to spend the rest of my days with you. Will you marry me?" Elena's heart skipped a beat. She had dreamed of this moment for so long, and now it was happening. She smiled brightly, her blue eyes shining. "Yes, Henry, I want nothing more than to spend my life with you." The two of them embraced, feeling the warmth of their love fill the air around them. In that moment, everything felt right, just as it should be. Meanwhile, Rose and William had taken a walk along the river, where the sounds of the water gently flowed beside them. They walked in comfortable silence for a while, simply enjoying each other's company. As they reached a quiet spot by the water, William stopped and turned to Rose. "Rose," he said, his voice steady but filled with emotion. "I've thought about this a lot, and I know what I want. I want to spend my life with you. Will you marry me?" Rose's eyes widened with surprise and joy. She had never imagined that she could be this happy. She smiled, her heart filled with love. "Yes, William, I want to marry you too." The two of them held each other tightly, knowing that their lives were about to change forever. It felt like the start of a beautiful journey, one that they would walk together, side by side. As the months passed, the weddings of Elena and Henry and Rose and William became the talk of the village. The celebrations were simple, yet filled with love, attended by all their family and friends. The ceremonies were held in the village square, where the air was filled with joy, music, and laughter. Elena and Henry were married first. The day was bright and clear, with a soft breeze blowing through the trees. Elena wore a beautiful white dress that glowed in the sunlight, and Henry looked proud and strong beside her. Their vows were heartfelt, and as they exchanged rings, they promised to love and support each other for the rest of their lives. After the ceremony, the villagers gathered to celebrate with music, food, and dancing. The evening ended with a stunning sunset, painting the sky in hues of gold and pink. Not long after, Rose and William's wedding took place. It was a beautiful day, just like Elena and Henry's, and the entire village came together to celebrate the couple. Rose looked radiant in a soft pink gown, and William stood by her side, his heart full of love. The ceremony was simple, but filled with meaning. Rose and William exchanged vows that reflected their deep love and commitment to one another. The day was full of warmth, and the village celebrated into the night with laughter and dancing. The four of them, Elena, Henry, Rose, and William, became not just a couple, but the foundation of something even more beautiful. They worked together to help the village thrive. Elena and Rose, though still admired for their beauty, were now known for their kindness and wisdom. They used their gifts to support their community, offering help to those in need and teaching others the value of love, patience, and kindness. Henry and William, both strong and caring men, worked together to make sure the village grew and prospered. They shared their knowledge of farming, trade, and leadership, helping the villagers build a future they could all be proud of. The two families became inseparable, always supporting each other through every challenge and celebrating every success. As the years passed, Ravenshade grew into a thriving village. Elena and Henry had children, 2 boys, both strong and kind like their father. They grew up learning the values of hard work and care for others, just like their parents had taught them. Elena and Henry made sure to raise their children with love and respect, teaching them the importance of family and community. Rose and William, too, had children, 2 girls, both full of energy and joy. Rose passed on her gentle spirit to her daughters, while William taught them the importance of kindness, honesty, and treating everyone with respect. The 2 families worked together, helping each other with the children and teaching them the values that had been passed down to them. The village of Ravenshade became known far and wide for its sense of community. People from nearby villages would come to visit, and many chose to stay, inspired by the love and unity they saw in Ravenshade. Elena and Rose, while still admired for their beauty, were now known as the heart of the village. Their kindness, wisdom, and generosity touched the lives of everyone they met. Henry and William's leadership brought prosperity to the village, ensuring that it continued to grow and thrive. The 2 men became respected leaders, not just for their strength, but for their compassion and fairness. Under their guidance, Ravenshade became a place where people could find love, peace, and a sense of belonging. As Elena and Rose sat together one evening, watching their children play in the garden, they looked at each other and smiled. Their lives had turned out just as they had hoped, and they knew that the love they had found with Henry and William was the greatest gift of all. The village of Ravenshade, with its beautiful homes, lush gardens, and caring people, was a reflection of the love and kindness that had shaped it. And as the years passed, the legacy of Elena, Rose, Henry, and William lived on, inspiring future generations to come.